everybody. I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Look Back. This is a series where I go through reviews that I did 1, 5, and 10 years ago. I tell you what I think about them now, if I think about them at all, and if anything's changed. So let's take a look first at a year ago. I did a classic review a year ago of Tally Ho, one of the two-player games in the Cosmos line, where one person's the hunters and the other person's the bears or the animals. It's very much not that great of a game. Even, it's a little charming, I suppose, but still 5 out of 10. Islands in the Mist. I had actually forgotten about this game, where you're flying through with like a blimp and just discovering things and getting points. It's okay. 6 out of 10. My Farm Shop. So this one I gave a 7 to initially. I'm dropping it to a 6. Not because I dislike it. I think the game is fine, and if you ask me to play it, I'd play it. But I'll tell you, so many others of these games keep coming out where you roll dice and get resources, and when you compare this to games like Space Base and other things, it just doesn't hold up as strongly. Cascadia. Now this one, I know a lot of people love this game. I gave it a 7, which feels like I hate it. I don't. I think it's a fine game. It's enjoyable. You are, drafting very simply and building with points. A lot of people compare it to Calico. I like Calico better. It's a thinkier, crunchier game, but I get why people like Cascadia so much, and I enjoy it. Dominant Species Marine. I also gave this one a 7. I'd give it a higher score if it wasn't so lengthy and involved. It's not nearly as dramatic as the original Dominant Species, but there's still some stuff going on in it. Ausonia, I gave this a 7. This is a deck builder, very straightforward deck builder, but some of the cards will continue to give you bonuses as you go through, and I kind of like that. Kingdoms. This is another classic review I did last year. This is an 8 out of 10. It is placing tiles down on a board, and you're scoring for rows and columns. Really, really simple, but it does work, from Reiner Knizia. Agropolis. This is a sequel to Sprawlopolis. I like them both. Combined are fun too. Comboopolis. 8.5. Fantastic game. And then The Great Wall. Huge game from Awakened Realms. But this one's a Euro-style game. Very much like this one. Another 8.5. All right, 5 years ago, I took a look at Cobra Paw. Roll dice and grab stuff. Meh. 5 out of 10. Follow, a game about getting followers in social media, kind of a take that game. Meh, 5 out of 10. Festival of 1,000 Cats, a really weird little Japanese game. I think it's Japanese, Chinese, I don't remember which company it came from. But either way, it's a really weird trick-taking style game. And you know what, it works-ish, but it's a little too weird for me to love it. 6 out of 10. Dr. Beaker, 6 out of 10, which is weird because I love some of the games from this company. As there's the one that actually has beakers. This one's kind of weird because it's about picking up little microbes and putting them into this thing. But the functionality of this one's not as strong as the other games in this line. So 6 out of 10. Kepler 3042. This was the version that came out before Renegade reprinted it, and it's fine. It's a go out in a space exploration game, but I felt it was a little too limiting for me to love. 6 out of 10. Shifty-Eyed Spies. It's a cute little game where you're winking at other people, without other people catching you. 6 out of 10. Valletta. This one I originally gave a 7, but I'm dropping to a 6, mostly because I forgot the game even existed over the past years. It's fine. There's a lot of these games out there, Euro-style games. This one just hasn't stood up. Fantastic Gymnastics. This game is so dumb. So stupid. You were pressing a button to make a guy flip around a pole and then land on his feet. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen, and yet I'm giving it a 7. I don't know how, I cannot justify myself. Whistle Stop, the prequel to Whistle Mount, which is an amazing game. Whistle Stop is not bad. It's one of those games you're connecting little routes of trains and things. I like the idea of it. 7 out of 10. CV Pocket. This is a smaller version of CV. I like CV. Which stands for Civilization or Running Your Life or something like that. 7.5. How to Rob a Bank. A very simple little game, but we got the criminals, the robbers, and against the police officers. A fun little back and forth game. 7.5. Bunny Kingdom came out 5 years ago. Love this drafting placement game from Richard Garfield. Great game. 8.5. And then 5 years ago, I reviewed Rising Sun. An amazing game. Love everything about this game. The diplomacy, the placement, the monsters, 9.5. All right, 10 years ago, I took a look at Go Hoops basketball game. It's terrible, just roll dice. Who knows? 1 out of 10. Action Princesses, which is probably a 3 out of 10, but I give it a 6 out of 10 because you get a lot of dice in the game. Milestones. This is another one of those forgettable Euro games, although I do remember that this one has a circular track that you're moving around. But again, just kind of, you're doing the same thing. 6 out of 10. Heap. This is from Privateer Press, and like a Goblin universe that they were trying to make some board games for a while where you build up this stuff. It's okay. Flickin' Chicken. I'm amused. You're throwing a rubber chicken. So if you like that, you'll enjoy it. 6 out of 10. Farmageddon. This one, I think, sits on the 6 just because of the funny farm things, although there's a lot of these games out there at this point in time. So 6 out of 10. Atlantis Rising. This is the first edition of it. I gave this one a 7. I think it's a good, solid, cooperative game. Definitely was very much enhanced by the new one. So because it's enhanced by the new one, I'm dropping it from a 7 to a 6, but that's just because you should never play the first one. The new one makes the original one look not as good. It's much, much better. But it is a fun cooperative game. Agricola, All Creatures Great and Small, the 2-player version of Agricola. Lots of fun. That is a 7 out of 10. It's mostly about raising animals, which is one of my favorite parts of Agricola. Camelot Legends. Now, this didn't come out 10 years ago, but I did kind of a re-looking at this game. This was one of the first card games that Z-Man ever produced. Has great art, has some really neat concepts in it as you're trying to build up in different virtues so you can go on these and go out and accomplish tasks. I'd love to see a reimagining of this one. Smash Up, 10 years ago now. 3 games here that are surprising me. They're 10 years ago. Smash Up, still going strong now. This is an 8 out of 10. I would love it more. The game sometimes goes a little long. Definitely is a take that game and works best at 3 players. 3 is the best number to play as at. But I still have a soft spot for it and always looking forward to trying new Smash Ups. Seasons. This is another 8 out of 10. This one I could see going up. I'm surprised. Maybe it should be an 8.5. I don't know. You know what? Let's do that. Let's change to an 8.5 because Seasons is a really great drafting game, rolling dice, and then drafting those dice to use different abilities and the cards. It's really fun. And then Mage Wars Arena. This is an 8.5. Still love this game. Don't play it as much these days, waiting for the second edition of it if it ever comes out. Mage Wars, the smaller version of it, I think I liked a little bit better. But still, this game that let you build a deck, but then you could play any card you wanted to it. You had a spell book. It was really unlike anything else. Put Arcane Wonders on the map. So there you go. Those are the games that I reviewed 1, 5, and 10 years ago. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time.